are hunters athletes. If we think back to basically what an athlete is, I mean, the modern day athlete's pretty easy to pick out, right? Football players, basketball players, hockey players, Olympic athletes. But the first athletes on earth were none of the above, right? The first athletes were probably hunters, okay? And you can classify them as athletes because they had a job, and their job is a lot more crucial than the modern day athlete. They're just entertainment value now. Back then, it was the survival of their village, their community, okay? And when a community decided who that hunter was going to be, who did you think they picked? They didn't just randomly pick somebody. They picked the best athlete, the guy who was going to be the most persistent, had the most skill, the most talent. They went out and provided for the village. So with that said, we'll move on to our next slide here. So why get in shape for hunting? Do you have to get in shape for hunting? You don't have to get in shape for hunting, you guys. There's a lot of people out there that are very successful hunters, kill huge whitetails, lots of turkeys, even sheep that aren't in great shape. You don't have to get in shape, but why should we get in shape? First and foremost, you should get in shape because you owe it to your family and yourself to get back to your family. All right? If you choose not to get in shape and go on, say, a sheep hunt, you're risking not getting back. Anybody here ever been on a sheep hunt, a drop hunt, and the airplane didn't come and get you when they were supposed to be? Yeah, I mean, anybody who's done enough flying hunts has been there before. Run out of food, run out of water, okay? Another big reason to train is for your hunting partner. Now, a lot of people hunt with outfitters, some people don't. If you're not hunting with an outfitter, or even if you are hunting with an outfitter, what if your guy breaks his leg? What if he takes a fall? Okay? I personally feel obligated to my hunting partners to be in shape enough to get them out of the backcountry and back to their families if something was to go wrong in the backcountry. Okay, so that's another reason why everybody should train. Because you're going to be able to hunt areas that other hunters aren't going to be able to. Flat, that's it. Okay? If you're not in good shape, you're not going to be able to get to certain areas just because physically you're just not going to be able to get there. If you are in shape, you're not going to be limited to the areas you're going to be able to hunt by your physical fitness. You're going to be able to hunt longer, you guys. And what I mean by this isn't just days. You're not going to turn a 2-day hunt into a 10-day hunt, which you'll be able to do. But you're going to be able to hunt well into your 60s, 70s, 80s, okay? If you're staying in shape, you're going to be able to hunt longer in your life. Because you're going to be able to enjoy the hunt more. I mean, bottom line is, you're going to come back from any hunt, and it's going to be a good experience. You know, I'm sure everybody that's been in the hunting industry or around hunting or around hunters long enough either has been there or knows somebody who really the only thing they talked about was how miserable the pack guy was. Anybody ever been there before? I mean, shoot. The hardest part about any hunt isn't harvesting an animal. That's the easy part, right? I mean, once it's done, now the work starts. Now we got to get this thing out of here before maybe it's hot, and we got to get it out of here quick. You know, maybe we got to take care of it, get it down to the creek, get it taken care of. This is a big one. Because you want to hunt as hard on the last day of your hunt as you did on the first day. All right? In order to hunt as hard on day 10 as you did on day 1, you've got to be prepared physically and mentally to overcome some of these limitations that you're going to run into. Most importantly, you guys, we are the visiting team. At any big game we're going to pursue. Hey, I don't care what you're hunting. We are the visiting team. I always think it's funny that as humans we kind of have this mightier than thou complex, you know, because we're at the top of the food chain per se. But when we go to in pursuit of any game, we're on their turf. This is where they live. This is where they grow up. This is where they survive. And we're expecting to go into their home and beat them at their game. And we do a really good job at it, surprisingly enough. but you're going to tip the scales by being in shape. So let's do something. Let's do man versus sheep. All right? And it's kind of laughable, but what do sheep? Sheep live in the mountains, right? From the time they're born to the time they die, they're going to be in the mountains. They have superior eyesight. This is our opponent we're going after, okay? They have superior eyesight. What is it, 12 tower, 20 tower binoculars? I mean, these things can see you coming forever. They have a superior sense of smell. They are always, you guys, they're always on alert, always. I mean, their whole life depends on them being on alert and recognizing threats and possible threats and knowing escape routes, those types of things. So they're going to know every escape route. Their only job is to avoid predators. Okay? Now let's look at man. We live in heated houses. We can go to the store for food, right? And most of us do. All right? So we have the comfort of a heated house. We can go to the store for food. We get water out of the faucet. You guys are getting the idea here. Sleep in bed. We have all these things that are basically piled against us. Now, if from an outsider's point of view, outsider looking in, you're thinking, man doesn't stand a chance. There's just no way. I mean, look at the other things that man has. No daily threats. We're at the top of the food chain. We have inferior senses, and yeah, we're slow. Really slow, right? And here's the big one. Our time is limited. I think that maybe the biggest thing for man is our time is so limited. We have X amount of time to pursue this game. Somebody once told me that you can kill any animal you wanted, specific animal, if you had enough time. If your time was unlimited, you could do it if you had the knowledge and the time. Okay, so how do we tip the scales in your favor? Okay, we're going against opponents that's obviously got superior. It's at home field. It's got all these superior qualities opposed to us. How are we going to tip the scales in our favor? There's a lot of things that we can do, and a lot of things we do. You're going to research the best areas to pursue these in.